What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. We are back for another round of the AOR Oceania season number 6 here for the finale here, round number 12 here at the Brazilian Grand Prix. It is the last time for this season in for AOR Oceania on F1 2019. The championship standings, well, they're all done and dusted, so we don't need to worry about it too much. But obviously, we scored our first points last time out, which you haven't seen. Go check it out. Don't want to give too much spoilers away there, but again, if you haven't not seen the live stream from that last round, then what the hell have you been doing? You've missed quite a lot, that is for sure. But here we are for the finale here. Literally just going to have a little bit of fun here. Well, not quite. I actually forgot about that. The championship standing is not quite done yet. There may be still a few minor placings up for grabs there, as well as the Constructors' Championship, even though there was, I think, only Ferrari missed out by only a couple of points, really, so there's pretty much nothing in it for they might actually wrap, well, you'd think they would wrap it up here this weekend unless something dramatic happens, so they both DNF, and both the Mercedes cars, both the Max Mate and Alan Hugo can manage to somehow scrape over with the Constructors' Championship, but that seemingly leaves a little bit unlikely, that is for sure here. But yeah, for us here, didn't have much practice around here, as you can tell, as we invalidated our lap time on the first flying run here. So as someone's off in the infield there, it looked like a Renault car, if I'm not mistaken, so it must have been LSE and the Butler, I would think, of the final corner, not that final corner, but the last couple of corners there. But still a bit of a lap time there to get ourselves a bit of a guide on what's going on. As I think he actually got disqualified there as well, did Butler as well. Instead of, I think, a 109.6 on our first flying run. It wasn't the ideal run, to say the least there, but anyway, we dived it back into the pit lane here. Just literally, for this round, I was just literally just going to go all hell for leather here, really. If we get some points, well, so be it. I think I was actually running the same setup that I ran last season, in Season 5, around Brazil, but somehow got a podium, but of course, we only had 6 people from memory. I can't actually remember.
Rain is a few laps out yet, but it is coming. Be careful.
So, I mean, we got a bit lucky there with the podium, but that's the other thing as well here, because there is some imminent rain here for this qualifying session. So, basically, we have to make sure we can get ourselves a decent lap time around here to make sure, well, get a decent starting position here, because I think there's a bit of wet weather for the race as well, so which will make it very interesting. Nothing like a little bit of wet weather.
Rainfall expected. 5 minutes until rain.
Okay, so about 5 minutes away. So, pretty much we have to try and get a lap time in obviously, first off, but we've got enough time, maybe try, get onto a fresh to the softs and then go nuts for the final, well, literally will have to be the final run for in this round before the rain hits. So you stick aboard here for what is actually going to be my fastest lap here at Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. They got that name right, but we navigated the Center S's pretty well there. Didn't invalidate, which you can do through turn 2 or even the exit of turn 2. Now to Descida de Largo there into turn 4. Ran it a little bit wide on the curb. Already had a little bit of a loss there, but not too bad overall there. I think sector 1 was a little bit quicker. Of course, we're basing it obviously that this is my first proper run. 16.8, I think, was the sector 1 there as one of the Alphas gets out of the road. I think that may have been Penske. There, I didn't actually catch the game attack there. I think it would have been Penske's. We just missed the apex there through turn 10. Now through turn 11. Don't want to run it out too wide like we did the last lap. And into Jung Chao. I think that's how you pronounce it. Didn't quite nail it, I didn't think, at that time. But Ryan sets the provisional fastest lap here. So he's going all hell for leather here in the final round, even though the championship is pretty much done and dusted for him. But we take the shortest run to the line. It is P9. With a 109.011, so probably not the quickest time. I did actually, you probably saw then, we get a weather update.
Heavy rain arriving within 5 minutes time. Dries seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
And you can see it is starting to get a little bit cloudy, to say the least, so we basically have to get back in and get onto another set of soft compound tyres as quickly as we can before the weather hits. So, and he probably did see as well, I did change the front wing for this run, well, that second run, I should say. I think we were running like 3.7 wings originally.
We're expecting some rain soon. Expect the first drops in the next few minutes.
Yeah, there's the cue there for Jeff to say that we've got to get out quick, smart here before it gets it hammers down, literally. So we did not muck around. Just had a quick check of like who was where and whatnot, and got every single bit of fuel out and got onto a fresh set of soft compounded tyres. So I can't even remember what I was talking about previously, but yeah, it's probably gone anyway. But anyway, we'll come back out here, and it did start to cloud up a little bit more here. So we have dropped a couple of spots here as well, back to P12. So I was hoping this last run would get us maybe a few more spots there in this final run, but fortunately I just got the exit curve there down there through turn, well, not quite turn 3 there, the exit of turn 2 you could say, but yeah, that's pretty much just ruined our run there. As you probably just saw then, the rain is actually started to hit. You know when you get that sort of flash effect there, that you know that the weather is here, and it is actually here. So as Ryan sets another fastest lap even in these sort of conditions. I think, well, he was already on a flyer obviously before the rain hit obviously, so to do it again, I mean, it's incredible work. Anyways, as now Penske retires from the qualifying session. We're still 3 minutes away from the end of qualifying. I did try and have another crack here to see whether it would improve at all, but I think the weather's just taken a turn for the worse here, and again, got the exit curve there, and the front wing damage.
It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
The front wing is not gone well there, unfortunately, so yeah, I think that was basically to confirm it as now DRS is now disabled, so yeah, that definitely confirms it's just too wet around here. So I think this qualifying session may be ending a bit early. It's I think it's a rarity that we've had a qualifying session. We've now obviously retired ourselves from the qualifying session, so I doubted whether anybody else would have improved at all here, but certain Mr. Hugo here, I think he might just be putting on a little bit of a show here for the live stream. I'm not entirely sure, but the drifting, probably could do with a little bit of work. I mean, it's good drifting, to say the least, but I mean, it's probably not like, what's his name, Daniel Berezne sort of drifting style here. Although, and then that probably proves my point there when he goes for a full spin there in the end as well. But you see, that's who we were with in the party chat for just everybody wanting to know. It was myself, Dubstep, Is That Matt, Saving Mince Pie, and Frizy. As again, I think Hugo needs to do a bit more work on the dry compounded tyres in the wet weather in the end. But in the end, I think we finished up in P12 for us. So Ryan does get pole with a 107.859. So not bad him, ahead of Alan, Always AFK in P2, I should say, who's making her return this round, and Alan Hugo in third. DRC Jarrett in sixth place, and then all the way back to my teammate for this round, Withers, is in 17th, and Ellison the Butler in last of the disqualification here. But yeah, that's pretty much for qualifying. It's time to go racing for the finale here at the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Race start with this many cars out on track today. Keep your distance going into turn 1.
Thank you, Jeff. As always, so welcome to the grid, guys and girls, for the final time for Season 6 here in Brazil. Like I said, the weather is going to play a part here in this finale. So I just remember what I was talking about the setup-wise. We did change it to 2.7, I think, for the final run, but it didn't work in here. But we're setting off now for the formation lap.
Okay, our system checks are good. To stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
Thank you, Jeff, as always. But I did change the front wing to 3.7 wings, but it may still change depending on how good we are in the wet weather conditions here. But yeah, one final time here at Brazil. Great way to finish off the Season 6. I've got to say, as Penske's having a bit of a battle here on the formation lap, I don't know what the go is there. He's going to start behind us here, so interesting to see what occurs here at the start. That's just taking it nice and cautiously here, just getting a feel for the wet weather conditions. We haven't done a wet race for a while. Nearly had an Elmer Fudd moment there. But usually in these sort of conditions, New Zealand ride is sort of like a godsend around here. Don't know what it is with Kiwis in the wet weather, but they seem to sort of come of age. But as Benny F1 there is taking nice and slowly to the grid, and we just get ahead of him there before the car takes over. But I think the last time the guys ran in the wet weather, I think Ryan pretty much dominated. I think it was around Japan, if I'm not mistaken there. But here we are coming to the grid for the one final time. Got to say massive thanks to everybody that took part. I do apologise to maybe some of the guys that probably I didn't give maybe fair. I didn't feel like it would give fair goes, but I tried to make sure everybody got a fair go this season. But in the end, you can't please everybody. So here we go for the finale here in Brazil. 5 red lights. Long hold, but let's do it around Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. It's a decent start, but didn't get a lot of wheel spin off the line, so it was not too bad. Taking nice and cautiously here in a turn 1 because we didn't want to have any more collisions here. Master Berserk's gone round, and so is Max Mate, I think, in a Mercedes. So there's a couple of spots there. But we do drop actually a spot back to P11 as Penske goes around the outside. So does Matt. Somehow he manages to hang on to the car there. Again, I probably forgot to mention as well, the webcam in action yet again for this round. You can probably tell from my reaction, I could not believe how Matt survived coming around turn 3. But we do manage to get back ahead of Matt into P11 here as both Benny and Xavier Mince-Pie battling away here. I think was Xavier behind me? I can't remember off the top of my head. So he might have been a bit further up. I can't actually remember. But Benny does get the move into P9 for the time being as Xavier now back into P10. We're still under attack from the McLaren behind of Matt as he's going to set it up the inside here. Was not surprised there at all. And he gets the move done. So we're back into P12. So we haven't really made much move off the start line there, unfortunately. His Dubstep's now left the session here. I think he was having some internet issues or lobby issues, can't remember from memory, but I think he was the party's leader as well. But Jeff's telling us to use overtake here. There's Laggy's in the McLaren for this round. I think he was having some internet issues as well here. There's, Savory's around. There's contact with he and Matt. We've had to go literally right the way off track there. And we go back up into 10th place. Dubstep's now rejoining there. So I think we actually got past his ghost car as well.
Green flag.
But we lost the spot to LSM the Butler there, who's making, I said, a recovery from, well, P18, or it was actually, well, P19. But like I was saying, Laggy had some issues during qualifying. He joined late during qualifying or something, can't remember. So hence why he's in the McLaren. Usually he's in the Red Bull, but don't panic, his points will still count for Red Bull if he does score any points for Red Bull. But here we are at P3. Not lap P3. Lap 3 is Bazooka was, I think, was around there. So up we go into 9th place. So a few guys being caught out in the wet weather conditions around here. There's been a lot of life for Bazooka as well because this is, you could say, technically his home track. He's what do you call it? Home country of birth. I got that one mixed up anyway. But you get what I mean. But let's have a look at the start here. On board we go, Master Berserk. It's the first other point of view that I've had this season, I think. So let's see what happens here with Berserk into turn 1. Hard to tell, really. Maybe got a little bit squeezed there by Always AFK, but it didn't really see much, to be honest. Gets, I think, a warning there, I think, for the collision with Always AFK, but I think Max may have got caught up as well. Thankfully, he didn't get any front wing damage, but it does put him back into last position there, so not an ideal start, obviously, for Berserk. Let's have a look on board with my point of view again. So you'll probably just see in the foreground there. It's sort of, it's a bit hard to tell there. Don't know whether Max played a part in that as well, but he didn't end up, he ended up worse as well. So, it was a bit hard to tell what occurred there with those guys. I think even Berserk said after the race what was going on there. But look at Mac getting sideways through there and somehow managed to hold it in held position there. So give him credit for that, I've got to say. But this is the replay a bit further on what happened. So Laggy was having to look up the inside. I think Dubstep just may have missed his braking point there and slammed into the back. I can't remember. I think it was Benny F1 there. Unfortunately, Matt slammed into the back of him. into the front of him, and I think Laggy may have gotten away with it. It was a bit hard to tell there, but they managed to get the move done as this is obviously our backing, getting ourselves up, getting out. I don't know how we avoided all of that. I literally had to take every single bit of track limits there out of turn 4 at the Cita de Largo, but anyway, we managed to survive that. But lap 6 we go here, and Master Berserk's pretty much on a charge here as we pick up our first track limits warning here, I think, of the race. Might be a second, I'm not entirely sure there, but you see Berserk's really starting to close in up here on us here, and probably tell here at the moment that I think it was probably disappointed, or maybe a bit later on in the race, that I just did not have the pace at all. I don't know what it was, but just don't seem to have it. And I just let Berserk go here. I'm not really going to put up much of a fight here because I think he's still battling away in the minor placings for the driver's standings. But constructors wise, well, I think he's pretty much given there for the Ferrari. So, like I said, unless something major happens with those guys, I think they've pretty much got it done. As Alan Hugo's in the lane very early on in the race, so I was actually a bit surprised that that actually happened. So I don't know whether that was planned or whether that was for damage or what, but that was all very weird there for those guys. I think who was that in the foreground? I think it was Penske and Butler battling away again. Those two have had their fair share of battles throughout this whole season. I think Butler may have actually got by Penske, if I'm not mistaken there. But so we ran it a little bit wide coming through turn 2 there, or the exit of turn 2. That's lap 9 here. You just see we're pretty much just on our lonesome here because we just don't really have the pace. We honestly just don't have the pace here at all here. So we're skipping a few laps ahead to lap 13 here, where Brazuca did make a bit of a comeback here. He's now right behind us here for 10th. Well, this is the battle for 9th and 10th now in this race. It's over here. I think we're gonna battle Brazuca pretty hard here. I got my words out eventually, but yeah, I was gonna put up a bit of a fight here with Brazuca because we're fighting for, even though it's like the back end of the points paying position here, we definitely want some more points here for Williams, especially since we obviously got the first points last time out in Austria. But yeah, I was hoping for a few more points here, as he's right on the rear end of our car here at the moment here in the Williams. So we're going down the front straight here. He was going to go round the outside there. I don't know what. I thought it was a bit of a risky move going around the outside here. I mean, I wasn't planning on him to try to go around the outside, but I mean, that was a risky move there and a half, that is for sure, for Brazuca. I don't know what he was thinking there. He could have just waited until this point in time where he's got the much better run out of the first, out of the center S's there, and to see that Largo, and I just, in the end, let him go here. I think we actually got contact there from behind as well from Alan Hugo. But in the end, I did not put up much of a fight there with him in the end. So gives us a little bit of a weave. Yeah, I think that was a thank you weave. I don't think that was for, unless he was angry, I'm not entirely sure there. But sort of looked like he sort of maybe outbraked himself there and just slammed into the back of us. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't want to play a bit of any part in that anyway. So
light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay. Inters seem like the fastest tyre for now.
Yeah, I was just giving a weather update. I think it's going to be basically just Inters for the rest of this race. I don't think there's any chance for any wet weather here. Sorry, actually more wet weather here, I should say. But we were not going to pit this lap, put it that way. But Alan Hugo does pit in again for, I would assume that would be for a little bit of a front wing change. So he must have definitely got damage from me from that little incident. So that puts us back up inside the top 10. We get our first time penalty of the race, I believe, on lap 15 there. But
we're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment.
Yeah, that's for sure, Jeff. I think we are definitely on the right compounded tyres here at the moment, as we just take it nice coursing through here. I think you see in the foreground there, I think Brazuca may have had a moment coming out of Jung Chao there, or that bit between turns 12 and 13.
Old Inters. Their tyres are 15 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 22.9.
Just checking the update with Brazuca, who's not got any penalty so far. There's a couple of guys now as we get to lap 17 here. As again, I think he's had a moment there at turn 1. So that's lost him a lot of time there. We've sort of gained back a little bit of time here, but you'll see he sort of starts to pull away there as well. So I think it was Master Berserk, Ellison, the Butler, and Poms has pitted for another set of intermediate tyres. You would usually want to take them about halfway race distance. Maybe sometimes you can take them even longer, but even at the time, I didn't even think about maybe going even longer in this race and going to literally last minute. That probably wasn't in my planning there at the time, but we're still pushing on here. We're just trying to catch up to the back of Brazuca as best we can. I think he's coming into the pit lane, yes he is. So there we go, up into 6th place, and I think there's a couple of others in the pit lane. Always AFK and Penske, I think, have come in as well. Always, I think we'll just maybe get ahead of her. Not 100% sure there, but she obviously was well way ahead of us here. As I think that caution there is for Frizzy's car, because I think he's retired from the Grand Prix, because I think from memory he said it was no point from where he was in the race way back in the field in last, I think it was about last, to be honest. So but we're going to box at the end of this lap, because usually it's about halfway point, and always is closing in on us as well. So we're going to dive into the pit lane here as best we can here, but I absolutely make a meal of it coming into the pit lane. I think we got a bit of front wing damage as well there. A bit hard to tell, obviously, because of where the webcam is. It might change for the next game, but yeah, that was definitely not ideal. Butler is now retired from the Grand Prix in the pits. I don't know what that was about, to be honest, but
exit now.
Yeah, I was not happy about that one, and I think it may have made the live stream as well. So that was not one of my fighter moments. So I've not had great moments around here in Brazil, let's just say the least. But yeah, Butler's now left the session, so yeah, I don't know what the goes were there, but I think we've definitely got a little bit of front wing damage now. We've come back out in P11 just behind Max May, but we did jump Brazuca, so he must have maybe got a bit of front wing damage there earlier on. But here's the replay when we're coming into the pit lane. I just absolutely made a meal of my braking marker. Look how far I am, literally to the pit wall there. I don't know what I was doing there, but yeah, that probably just proves last race of the season, but me probably lack of pace on the F1 2019, or just literally just giving up on this game. But my teammates into the pit lane that was in on lap 19, that was with us. He's come into the pits. Well, it might have been lap 18 for him there anyway, but Max Mate's now into the pit lane as well, so we jump back up into the top 10. I think getting past Alan Hugo is probably the long shot, considering where he is on the mini-map compared to where we are. But we're definitely one person we're definitely going to put up a fight with, again, like I mentioned earlier, is Brazuca, who's right on our rear end here. So you can definitely tell we don't literally have the pace. I think we'll change the front wing at the last pit stop as well. I think I might have gone to like 4 on the front wing. But yeah, the setup just did not work at all there. So I just did from the start. I was just in a battle here to maybe get some points. But we're just managing to hang on for the time being here. We're getting nice, good traction out of the corners there. So it's just managing to keep in front of him there for the time being. Head on to lap 21 here as we lock up the brakes into turn 1. That's going to give him a little bit more momentum there into turn 2. Maybe even turn 3 as well. Just literally just feeding it onto the throttle nice and gently here. There's no, actually, I'll take that back. I think we stuck it out on 3, but I did think about going on to 4, but in the end I did not do that in the end, because I thought the pace was also too bad. Otherwise, Ryan sets the fastest lap of the race. You saw then. He's just incredible, this man. I don't know what it is. There's a reason why he's won 5 AOR Oceania championships for a reason, but yeah, we're still hanging on in front of Brazuca here. Just taking nice and cautiously through turn 9 here. Just not getting onto the power too early here. We just wanted to keep it on the black stuff here. Don't want to get too wide on, even onto the white lines, or even touch the curbs too much here. We're just doing enough here to just keep ourselves in the points, but be probably another battle a bit later on in the race potentially here, as we get a much nicer run out of the final corner there. But he's still pretty close to us in the back again here, so not over and done with just yet, I don't think. As you can see, there's the Haas in the background there.
Gap to teammate behind is 51.2 seconds.
We lock up there under the turn 1. We did touch the grass a little bit there. As a look on the inside of the turn 1, but we just managed to hang on. We get another trackless warning there, so I think we're not too far away on the brink. Either that or that was my 4th warning. I can't remember, but I thought he was going to have a look down the inside of the turn 4 to see the Lager. Now he does have a look down the inside. There's a little bit of contact there as the hand of frustration goes up there in the cockpit, but we just managed to hang on. Might have been a little bit of caught on wheels there. But we just managed to hang on for the time being. And up we go into turns 8 again for the time being. As another little look there, but we're doing everything. We were doing everything right here at the moment to hang on for P10 here, but this sort of battling is not helping our cause here for, I think Max Mate's probably the next car behind. So, I mean, if we keep battling like this, then it'll bring Max a little bit more closer to this battle group as well. We're not going to catch up to Alan Hugo considering where he is. He's down the front straight, I think, at this rate. So we get out in the final into Jung Chao there, and I think he actually had a moment there, did Brazuca, because that's lost him quite a bit of momentum there. You can see, I looked behind there, and I think he has lost quite a bit of momentum there as a Brazuca. So probably just has a few little moments now and again through there. And I think he's actually had a moment there. So that's sort of, what was that, through turns 8 and 9 there. So that's going to give us a little bit more breathing room there. So that was pretty lucky in the end, and very unfortunate for Brazuca that it ended that way. But Ryan again sets the fastest lap of the race, 17.8. This late in the race is incredible, to say the least. But I think he gets beaten by DRC Jarrett, sets it at 17.8. I think he's second in the race at the moment, but he's a fair way off the pace at the moment.
Is 16.1 seconds.
Yeah, at this rate, we're definitely not going to catch up to, well, it was originally Alan Hugo.
The gap to the car behind is 8.8 seconds. They're on old inters. Their tyres are 4 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:19.5.
It's the update behind on Max Mate for P11, so he's sort of gaining a little bit on us here as well.
At the moment, the car behind us is lapping faster than us by around 1 second per lap.
There you go, there's confirmation there. So Max has definitely got a lot more pace than us here. So it's going to be a little bit of a battle to maintain this final points pay position here as we're catching up to these two idiots who decided to have a bit of fun on the dry compounded tyres. It doesn't work for Matt, unfortunately, as he spins it out. I think both were on the softs or the mid, or trying to on the dry compounded tyres. I can't remember. I think they were way down the field anyway. So anyway, it is what it is. But lap 26, we finally set our personal best of the race, 20.139 late on there. So literally, I was trying everything I can to get some, I did get some personal best, but I was thinking I could actually go a little bit quicker, but in the end, I don't think I did in the end there. But even though I was questioning after this race whether I actually should have stayed out for as long as I can, but there we go, we're getting the blue flags now because there's Ryan. So he's literally just absolutely dominating this race at the moment. You can probably tell where that the darker dot of DRC Jarrett is in the Red Bull, and he sets a 17.7 there. So you probably could say I probably had a little bit of help there. So you're welcome, Ryan, for that little bit of extra help to get the fastest lap of the race. As Xavier Mince-Pie is now retired from the Grand Prix. I think he's well and truly had enough of this race. But I think Matt actually went on to another set of dries or something, just for a little bit of fun. I don't know why, but it's probably end of season fun anyway. But lap 29 here, you can see Max is really starting to close in on us big time here. You think about where when Max pitted, I think it was about lap 20, and yeah, you can see, literally see it's just a it's just not a non-race there. Max gets us for P10. I was not overly thrilled with my lack of pace, obviously, but in the end we had to heat the position there to Max as we get another track limits warning now. I think we're on the brink now of our second time penalty of the race, so I was trying to hopefully keep it clean just in case some guys had penalties, but yeah, in the end Max did start to pull away a little bit. We still see him in the foreground there a little bit, but there's yellow flags. Matt's now retired. There he is, he's crashed out, and it actually causes a virtual safety car. And I think he was saying in the party chat, if he'd actually caused the safety car, it would have been blues afterwards, that's to say the least. But we did turn the safety car on the I say that. I think Ryan, as being the lobby host, put the safety car on, considering it's the final round of the season, just for something a little bit different. Obviously, considering we had turned it off for the last few rounds. So, but we were still close onto the back end of Max, but in the end, as we get to lap 33, you can see the gaps just literally non-existent there. So we've literally got a couple laps to go here, as we're now also getting blue flags there for DRC Jarrett, so we're just going to let him go here, even though it does ghost a little bit. I think the leader guys would prefer it if the lap traffic would sort of get out of the way there. So that's what we did. Didn't hold him up too much there. And yes, Ryan again, it's the fastest lap of 17.6. Incredible he is.
Okay, the gap behind is 19.4 seconds. They're on old inters. Their tyres are 13 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 20.1.
Getting an update there on Dubstep, who has got no penalties, but he has got it's a fair amount, a big gap behind to the car behind there. Is now Bazooka's now retired from the Grand Prix, so obviously his race went a little bit downhill after the spins earlier on there, but yeah. Not much happened, really, to be honest, in these last couple of laps. We headed for a little bit of a drift there around the final couple of corners. Ryan goes on to win the final race of the season, so big ups to him, and congrats to being a 5-time AOR champion. I think DRC Jarrett's going to come home in position 2. I think with victory as well, Ryan and Master Berserk do claim the Constructors' Championship, and we're going to come around in style with P11 in the end. We did get a time penalty as well in the end, but it didn't cost us too much. I don't think Dubstep closed up the gap enough there in the end. So yeah, there's the final podium there for for season 6 of AOR. So New Zealand Ryan, like I said, took the race victory ahead of DRC Jarrett. I think Benny F1 actually got onto the podium, and I think this is his first F1 podium. I think he's had a few podiums in F2, but this is his first AOR Oceania F1 podium. So big congrats to Benny F1. He has shown his fair share of pace, little glimpses of pace, I should say. The odd times, but other times he's had a few DNFs along the way. So that's a nice way to end the season. So that, like I said, that was the top 3. Always AFK in 4th. Master Berserk in P5, so that's definitely confirmed it for Ferrari. Poms in P6, Alan Hugo 7th, Penske in 8th, Laggy in 9th, and Max Mate in the 10th. And ourselves in 11th, Dubstep 12th, Broken Reptile in 13th, Withers 14th, and then the DNFs being Brazuca, Matt, Savvy Mince Pie, Ellison and the Butler, and Frizy. 19 runners for this round of the Brazilian Grand Prix. But we'll have a look at the final championship standings. I didn't actually make the ones, obviously, but there you go. There's the final championship standings. So Ryan takes the championship, obviously, 70 points over Alan Hugo, who does claim P2 in the end, only just. DRC Jarrett, even though it's his BRL Jarrett, he was formerly BRL Jarrett, gets P3 ahead of New Zealand Venom, who just managed to hang on to 4th ahead of Master Berserk, who gets P5 in the standings, ahead of Max Mate in 6th, and Penske, Ellison, the Butler, top Laggy person, the top Banter, even though he missed the last couple of rounds, finishes in 10th. Benny in P11, Matt and 12th, Dubstep, Death Bro in 14th, even though he missed the last 4 races. Brazuca in 16th, Frizy 17th. Who else we got? Myself, obviously, in 18th with the 1 point, and Calvo was the only man that didn't score any points this season. So, yeah, anyway, but we championship constructors-wise, Ferrari out of the constructors champions, 72 points ahead of Mercedes. Red Bull in P3, that was an obvious. Racing Point in position 4. Ahead of Renault, who did jump Alfa Romeo there for P5 in the end. I think the podium for Benny F1 definitely helped. McLaren in P7 in the end, ahead of Toro Rosso in 8th. Get ahead of Haas in 9th, and Williams rounding out the points with just the 1, thanks to yours truly. But anyway, like I said earlier, big thank you to everybody that took part throughout this whole season. We may have had a few ups and downs throughout the whole season, as always, but you guys sometimes maybe drive me nuts, and girl maybe drive me nuts sometimes, but somehow we managed to get through it in the end. So big ups to everybody. Congrats to New Zealand Ryan and Ferrari on the championships. Big thanks to the commentators, the streamer as well, being AOR Charlie, Michi 950, and Jess for helping out on the streams. Thank you guys as always. You really make some awesome, great streams as always. Big thanks to everybody as well for tuning in for the live streams as well. Big thank you to everybody that's probably tuned in as well for these last couple of videos, the last few rounds that I've taken part in as well. But I must point out as well that Season 7 sign-ups, even though this video is way late, Season 7 sign-ups are now open. Fingers crossed we can get some good numbers again. I'm hoping for another PS4 league, but I'm not entirely sure at this stage. Maybe hopeful again for another Xbox league, but who knows at this stage. But yeah, if I've forgotten anybody, again, I do apologise. I think, well, Bosley in that for the running of AOR for that season 6. Great job again from those guys as always. But and to everybody that's helped out along the way as well. But yeah, until next season, potentially, we'll have to wait and see. Unfortunately, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.